So click on create a new project. Here search for ASP.NET Core web app. You can see it here. I am selecting this, clicking on next. Now I will select a folder where I want to create it, and I will give a name. So this application that I am going to create, so it is basically a cryptocurrency type of application which will show you all the cryptocurrencies and the rates. Okay, so this data is entered by us. We are not calling any API or anything like that. It is just for the demo. So so what I will do is I will create the data using the application, and then we will retrieve the data using the same application, and we will display it on screen. Now for this I am using Entity Framework Core. It is a code first approach, so everything will happen through the code. I will also take you to the database. Basically it will be created locally using SQL Server Express, so I can also show you this data, whatever we are creating. Alright, so let's name this application as crypto demo. Okay, click on next. So I'm selecting 6.0, which is the latest .NET Core framework from Microsoft, and hit the create button. So it is now creating the project. So the project has been created now. You can see the name of the project is crypto demo. Let's quickly go through the folder structure. So here so you can see there is a program.cs file, which is basically the entry point. Okay, so first the methods which are called for the initialization, so all this happens here within this program.cs. Okay, so here you can see like the erasure pages will be added, or the app object will be created. So all this is happening here within this program.cs. Then there we have pages. Now so we are using razor pages here. So razor pages are basically will have a code behind for every page. So you can see if I click let's say this index.html, you can see here index.chtml.cs page. So this is the code behind. So let's double click this. You can see this is the HTML code here, and then if you go to the .cs file, you can see there is a C# code here. So basically this is how the pages are structured here. So the UI part will be in the CHTML, whereas the business logic related to that particular UI will be in the .chtml.cs page. So you have to write all your business logic here and then render it using the CHTML. Okay, everything is encapsulated within index page. So a particular page will contain all these things. So that is how it is structured. Then there will be shared classes like the layout, which is used by every page. You will have menu and the standard structure of the page. So all these things can be defined here. So that is the shared. Any other shared files you can add it here. Now let's go to this www-root. Now www-root is the root folder. So it contains the static files. So you want to add any JavaScript files, any static libraries, any CSS files, everything will go here. Similarly, there will be dependencies. All the dependencies will be here. Like there will be some framework dependencies. So those things will be in the dependencies. There are some properties, some launch settings, launch related files. So those will be in the JSON, in a JSON file. Inside this, like the project name, the application URL, environment, etc. So these things are here in this file within the properties folder. There is also an app settings file here, which will contain the config values basically related to the app. If you for example, any connection strings, etc. will be part of this. So shortly I'll show you. Right now you can see there is only logging related things here, but as we go forward, once we add the entity framework classes, you will see that a connection string will also be added here. Okay, so that's about the basic structure of this project. Now let's get started. So what I will do is, let me close all these tabs. Yeah, So the first thing which we need to do is, since it is a cryptocurrency related app, so I want to show all the cryptocurrencies. So what I will do is create a model, first a model folder where I'll contain, which will contain my model. The model will be related to my cryptocurrency. So I will name this model as coin. So let me first add the folder. So it is the models folder. Add it to the project. Now let me add a model. Right click it and add, and go to class. So this particular window will open up here. Let me select this and enter coin. Okay, so my name of my model is coin. So now you can see this coin model has been created. So this model will help me. This will contain the objects or the data that I am getting from the database. So that is the purpose of creating this model, so that I can render, using this model, I can render the data that I am getting from the database into the UI. Okay, so this model is important. If we want to add any other such data, so we have to create this kind of models. And since we are using code first approach, based on what type of model or what type and also the name of the models, so that will be used to create the corresponding database tables. So shortly I will show you how this will appear in the database once it is executed, and once the database tables are created, how this will look in the database. For the time being, let's go ahead and create this ID. Sorry. So public, so let me say, so see, now it is, now Visual Studio 2022 has this IntelliSense, which is a very powerful, they are using a very powerful AI. So that's why it has already predicted that the first property should be ID, and it will be indeed, but I will use a integer and then say ID and hit the tab. So once you hit the tab, it will automatically add the rest of the things. Now here also you can see it is predicting that the next property should be perhaps name, and which is correct. So I'll just hit the tab, and now the name property has also been created. Now my next property name will be price, which is also correct. So, and the type should be decimal. So the AI has predicted it correctly. So I'll just hit the tab, and you can see that all my three properties are created. Now by default, so there is a nullable property, which basically it is asking me that it cannot be null. The string cannot be null, so I have to make it nullable. Now this error has gone. This particular behavior can be updated using the project settings. So if you don't want this kind of error to pop up, so you can do it using the project settings. So go right click the project and go to properties. So in the properties you can see all these things. Okay, now here you will have one property called as nullable. Okay, so nullable, and then it is saying it is should be enable always. So there will always be a null check. So you can disable it. If we don't want it, we can disable, and we will stop getting those errors. So it will not ask us to kind of make this kind of properties as nullable. Okay, so that we can do, but we'll leave it at the default for this demo purpose. So now we have the three properties. So ID will be basically my primary key in the database table. So it will contain a unique ID. For every coin will have a unique ID, and name is the name of the coin. It will like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin. So that will be name of that, and the price will be the corresponding price of the of that particular coin. Okay, so a very simple structure. So that's our model. Now next step is to create a so we'll create a page. We'll create one folder here called as coins. We'll leave it as it is, and then we have, since we want to add all this, we will be using a code first approach. So the next thing is that we have to add a nuget package. Okay, so right click, manage nuget packages, click on browse, and here you can see this entity framework code design. So add this nuget package, install, accept. Okay, so it has been added now. Save it, close this window. Okay, so the nuget package has been added. So we will use something called a scaffolding. So right click on the coins folder, add, and then new scaffolded item. So as part of that, I'm selecting Razor pages because I want Razor pages using, I'll show this demo using Razor pages. So that's why I'm selecting Razor pages here. And then there is a CRUD operation here, Razor pages which is using entity framework. Select that. So CRUD is create, read, update, delete. So select this, click on add. Now here it will ask you your model class name. So select coin, that is the model which we created here. You can see that on the screen. So selected that. Now this will be blank basically. So you can see there is no data context class because we have not created it. So what is the data context? Now data context is the class which will be created in our C# code, and it will help us to interact with the actual database. So using data context, we can create databases, we can create database tables, we can do all the database operations from C#. Okay, so that is why we need to create this class. Now all the data context, whenever you create a data context, the prerequisite is that you need to create a model class, and you have to tell which model you want to use for this context. So which I have already done here. Now click on this plus sign, and by default it is saying that perhaps this should be your name, and I'm happy with that. So crypto demo, that is my entire the structure, and the name of the context class will be crypto demo context. Okay, that will be the name of the data context class, and it will be inside this namespace. So click add. So it has been added here. Now click on add. So now it will scaffold it, which means it will create the CRUD operations by default. So there is a standard template. Using that template, it will create all those operations. So no need for me to write all that code. Okay, that is pretty standard code. So the code so it will add some CHTML files, the code behind files, because we are using a Razor template. So the appropriate code behind files will be added to those CHTML files, and all the create, update, delete, all these functionalities will also be added. So let's wait for a minute. It takes a few minutes to do it. All right, so now the scaffolding part is complete. So it has added all the files. You can see create, delete, details, edit, index, all these files has been added. Now the next step here is to add the migration process and add the database. Okay, so for that, let's go to tools and package manager console. So here we have to add migration, and let's give a name to the migration. Any data, you can give any name. Any data, add migration. Okay, so now it will build and add some migration files. So now the migration process has completed. Now the next step is to the update database. Update database. Okay, now it has updated database. So you can ignore these warning signs. It is fine. It is just a truncation warning, but it's fine. So it has now created all the database tables. Okay, so we can verify that. So let's go to, first thing is that let's go to this app settings. Now yes, you can see that it has added a connection string, okay, to my local database. Now let's go to SQL Server Object Browser. So you can actually go to View and select this object browser. So View SQL Server Object Explorer, select it from here, then this thing will come up here. And so local database, that is the database I'm looking for. So databases, and you can see this new database has been created called as crypto demo context. Okay, and it will add some hash keys to it. So that's the new database. Click here, and then tables, we should see a coin table. Yeah, we have the coin table, and this migration history is used by, because we are using core first approach, so this table will also be created. Now this coin table, let's go to the design of this table. We can go to view designer. So you can see that three fields has been added to this table. Okay, so this is the code which was used to create this, so in SQL Server, and this is the equivalent of our model class that I showed you. So the model class is this. So this model class, so this is the equivalent table here. So it has ID, name, and price properties. Okay, and ID is the primary key. So that's the table. Now this table doesn't contain any data right now. So you can see if we go and right click again this table and view data, so it should be blank. So there is nothing in this table. So let's close this. In fact, let's close all these tabs. We don't need it. Now we have something. Now let's do one thing. Let's run it and see if we are getting any errors, or if everything is okay. Then we should see at least the pages which were created here. So okay, now this default page, we are seeing this default page here. So to go to the pages which we have created, let's use the path. So the path should be coins. So /coins, and you can see the index page has come up, that is the default page. If you click on create new, so I can see that it is coming up with these two options, right? Name and price. So based on our model. So let's go back and stop it and add some more things. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add some seed data. Right now there is no data. So seed data is important because it has a lot of benefits. You can deploy the application in any system and you just run it, and all the seed data will be inserted by default. It will be helpful for the developers, for the testers. Okay, so it will be very useful. So the recommendation is to add some seed data always. If you add manually, then it will be again overwritten when you install it again to another system. Again, you have to add data manually every time you do this installation. Okay, which is not efficient. So basically, so for that reason, we need to add the seed data. So let's go ahead and do it. So I will use this model class, model folder. In the model folder, right click, add a class, name this class as seed data. Okay, so I have some seed data already with me. So what I will do is I will just copy it. So this is the seed data. So what it will do, it has an initialize method. So this initialize method has to be called from another place. So that is basically, it has to be called from an entry point, and in our case we'll call it from the program.cs class, so that we can then initialize using this method. So what happens here, so it basically it will create some coins. Okay, so you can see all these coins. So all these coins will be created using this this method. Now this class also needs to be static, so it's a static class having a static method, and all the code is there. So let's now go to program.cs and add some code here. Now I have added this code here. So you can see I'm getting an error because I have to use this namespace. So now this error should go away. Okay, so what it is doing is so this app object is used to create a scope, and then a service provider is used, and that service provider is passed to the initialize method. So when it goes to the initialize method, it will then help us to create this context object. So once the context object is created, by using the context object, we can then pass the data. Okay, we can insert the data into the database and then save it. So that's the main purpose of this. So the seed data is created. Let's save it. So everything is now done. So when we run it, so it should create the seed data. So let's now go ahead and run this. So our default page has come up. Let's go to the coin folder, coins, and you can see all our data has come up now. Okay, so that is our seed data. So the next step is I will go to the database and show you what exactly has happened there. So let's close it, or we can stop it from here. Yeah. So now go to SQL Server and click on view data. So you can see all this data has been inserted here. So whatever data you just saw, so that data is coming from actually the database. Okay, so it is not coming from anywhere else. So that is the data part. Now what we'll do is we'll just format the UI a little bit, so that the intention is to, instead of typing the URL manually, I want to go to that particular page directly. So in order to do that, I have to do some modifications to the Razor page. We have this layout here. In the layout, you can see that this to home and privacy, which are the default things which are coming up. So I will add something similar so that we can go to our page. So I'll name it coins / index, and so it is named as coins. Okay, so the link will come up, and when you click the link, it should navigate to the index page where we can see all the coins. We are also doing perhaps we can also crypto demo. Yeah, maybe better is to show cryptocurrencies. So that will be our title, one space, and here also we'll say cryptocurrencies. Okay, so that's the UI which I have edited here. Now I will run it again, and we'll see what happens. Okay, now the page has loaded. Now you can see that one more item has come up called as coins. Now I'm clicking on the coins, so it should go to the index page. Now I am directly landing in the index page. You can also see this name has now changed to cryptocurrencies. The title has also changed to cryptocurrencies here. Okay, so now what we can do is we can perhaps edit something and see if it's getting edited or not. So let's edit this Dogecoin part. So let's edit and increase the rate. So right now it is showing 23. So what I will do is I will make it 35 and save it. So you can see the 35 has come up here. Okay, now I want to add one more coin also. So let me add it from here. Let me give the coin name as let's give another coin name, perhaps Nano. Yeah, Nano, and price is $2. So click on create. So a Nano coin has been created. Let's add one more. Now these are all fictitious prices, so it is just for the demo purpose. I don't know what is the actual price, so I am just adding it just to show you how we can do it. So here you can see all these coins has been added, and if we want to see this in the database, we can go to database and we can also see it there. So let's go to database, view data. You can see whatever I added there has all been added here as well. Okay, so it looks like our program is working as intended. Now I can also, if I want, I can delete a coin. So let's say I want to delete this coin. So let's see if the delete is working correctly or not. Now delete, yes. So the coin has been deleted. From here it is not appearing. So let's go back to we can go back to home page, or we can also go here and check if it has been deleted from the database or not. So view data. So yes, that the coin named as duck has been deleted from the database as well. So and it is all reflecting correctly. So that's how you can add coins, delete coins, and update coins. So if you go back to home page and you can go to the default, so navigation is also working correctly. So I'm able to navigate back and forth between home and coins. So whatever changes we have done to the UI, so that is also working correctly. So that's all about it. So that's a short demo where I showed you some basic functionalities, how to create this, and how to basically insert the data using Entity Framework core. So perhaps in a future video I will come up with some advanced things where we can add more controls to this page, and we can do a few more things as well. So I will come up with another video to show you that. If you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button. Thanks a lot for watching.